Hey y'all, Sergeant Sally again. How y'all doing? I hope the Lord has surely blessed your day. And welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me. It's awesome. We're in the bunker again today, but we're not talking firearms. Yeah, we're talking about something near and dear to my heart. That's food. How much food do you got? You know, the average house in the U.S. has like 2.5, maybe 3 days of food, which is really ironic because that's what's in the supply chain. That's what your store holds right now. Is about 3 days worth of supply for your area. So, what happens if all of a sudden fuel shuts down? There's a big, or a strike or some kind of natural disaster and the roads are cut off to your area. How much food do you have on hand? How long can you go without making it to the store? That's a pretty good question. Yeah, me personally, we've got enough. But you might need a little bit more. Now, this kind of goes into my 100 plan that I kind of like to run the house with, but as long as I don't tell Mama, because she's the one that actually runs the house. And any guy out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's the boss, especially when it comes to food. So, it's like a while back, a couple days ago, whatever it was, we had a tornado. It didn't touch down near here, but it took the entire county off the grid. We were down for about 9 hours before they restored power. There was, I know we live in a small county, but there were 6,200 homes without power. Now, some of y'all, you got that on your city block, but where we're at, that's the whole county. And there's trees down everywhere, power lines, just rows of power lines down in the road, sparks flying. It, it was pretty crazy there for a little bit. So if you couldn't get out, or, it's like we live in northern Indiana. We haven't had a real winter in years, but one of these days the good Lord's going to give us one again. I remember the blizzard of '78. I was a little younger back then, but yeah, we couldn't get out of the house for a week. Everything was froze. There was no food. We had natural gas and whatnot for the stove and the water heater, thank God. But if we didn't have that, electricity was intermittent. Somebody plowing 6, 7 foot of snow hit a telephone pole and power line come down. Well, then they had to go out there and fix that too. It was quite a struggle. It was a week before we could actually get out, and probably about 2.5 weeks before everything got back to normal. So, how much food do you have in your pantry? I would say you shoot for 2 weeks. And that includes, if you're thinking, oh, rice and beans, I'll go get me 20 pounds of beans and whatnot. Okay, do you got water for it? You got a way to heat it. Like here, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be a prepper, and my house is totally electric. Yeah, but I got a wood burn stove. Most of my property is wooded, and we have firewood stacked everywhere out here. Um, Coleman camp stove, those little green 1 pound bottles. Yeah, and you go get a 20 pound bottle, and you can refill those little ones. So how much food do you got? I'd take a good long hard look and don't be buying some weirdo stuff that nobody's going to eat. What good's that going to do? It's just going to sit there and 10 years later, you're, why we got this? And what you want to do is you want to get stuff that your family uses and then rotate it, get it up to a point and rotate it out. How we got started was if we used one, we go buy two. Use one, buy two more. And we really got started right before the COVID hit, and you can go to Walmart right now, and they got the Great Value beans or peas, green beans, and corn. Those three right there, 68 cents a can. So for a little over $8, you can get a flat. Flat's 12 cans. For a little over $8, you got 12 cans of food right there. Depending on the size of your family, it won't be the greatest meal in the world, and they got water in them, so you can mix that in with your rice while you're warming it up. You got veggies and rice right now, if you got heat. That'll get you for, depending on the size of your family, that might get you a day or two. Just small, if it's just you and your wife, or you and your husband, or, just you and one other person. That might get you, 2 days, 3 days maybe. I don't know. You got to go by your circumstances, not anybody else's. So, if you can swing an extra $10 every time you go shopping, just stock something up. And it doesn't have to just be corn and green beans and rice and dried beans and whatnot. It doesn't have to be just that. You can get you some tuna fish. You can get some canned chicken. You can there's Spam if you like that. There's all kinds of stuff. And then once you get a little bit further into it, maybe a little bit of flour, flour, water, some dried eggs. I got a freeze dryer. The good Lord bless us with a freeze dryer. We've had it for about 5 years now. So when I get overabundance of eggs and the neighbors are sick of taking my free eggs, I freeze dry the stuff and vacuum pack it. So I got powdered eggs. I'm right up there in the military. Just little something, a little bit at a time, and it kind of sets your heart at ease. It really does, and yeah, and shoot for that 2 week mark. Okay, we got 2 weeks of emergency, and then you start rotating it through. When you're cooking your meals, you take from your stock, use it, and then when you go to the store, you replace your stock. And then if you decide to build, but I'd at least give yourself 2 weeks. This is a crazy world, and it's only going to get worse. I don't care who the president is. They can't stop it. This is written in the Bible, people. It's coming. It's coming hard. It's coming like a freight train. And I think this summer, the summer of 2025, is going to be something to behold. It's going to be great, but terrible. It's going to be terrible, but it's going to be the most incredible depravity you've ever seen in your life. And there's nothing we can do to stop it because we're on God's timeline. I'll get off my preacher soapbox here. Just add a little bit. Just a little bit at a time. Throw in some cooking oil every now and then, can of Crisco, something like that. Get you a Coleman stove and those little green bottles, they come $10 for two, $11 for two, something like that. Stock up, I don't know, 6 of them, 4, 6 of them, whatever. Just stock them up. And that way, if you lose power because the next town over got hit by a tornado and it took out a substation, or, a bridge washed out. I don't know where you live. Maybe you got a river, and you can't get into town for stores. If Maui, LA, and the Carolinas didn't teach you anything, you're in denial, completely in denial, and nobody's coming to save you. And if you got that one neighbor that you know he's kind of weird and he's probably got stuff put back, are you really going to go over there empty-handed saying, yeah, you've been telling me for years, brother. I never listened and I never gave a damn, but I'm going to beg you food now. And if you don't give it to me, I'm going to get desperate and then I'm going to start demanding it and then things are going to get ugly. Are you really going to do that to your neighbor? Oh, I'll go there and take him by force. Yeah, let's see how that works out for you. Just do yourself a favor. Just start stocking up. I don't see why people are so afraid to back themselves up just a little bitty bit. It's getting crazy, people. Until we meet next time, may the good Lord bless you and keep your powder dry.